When creating static mesh collisions, it's not always guaranteed that the mesh geometry will produce optimal collision results. This is particularly problematic when generating continued collision meshes for a discrete static mesh tiled along a spline path. To understand why this problem occurs, it's important to know how Unreal generates a continue mesh when using spline. When a shape is stretched along a spline is a special case of a process called rule surface. In brief, this involves taking a shape and, for each vertex, creating a parametric version that can be mapped to the spline's coordinate system. This is done for every vertex, and the process is repeated for each spline segment. The issue arises because the Newton library assumes that a mesh is a continuous manifold. This means that each edge of the mesh should only be shared by one or two polygons. However, in the example, the edges shared between two adjacent spline segments are already a manifold. When these edges are combined, they result in a mesh with more than two adjacent faces, causing ambiguity when generating the collision mesh, resulting in collision with missing faces. In this video, we'll demonstrate a specific collision issue and show how to fix it. We start by creating the vehicle example demo that comes with the Unreal Engine SDK with the following steps. First, import the vehicle template from the content pack. This will trigger a project recompilation. After the project is recompiled, save a copy of the project. Reopen the project and load the new level. We'll now go through the basic process of creating a static level. After the level is configured, select the Newton scene actor in the outliner. Click Show Debug Collision to visualize the collision. Click Generate Shapes to generate the collision shapes. This will display the collision in wireframe view. Navigate through the level and you will notice that the track collision seems incorrect. There are discontinuities when transitioning between spline segments, which is problematic. Save your level before proceeding. The solution is simple. Ensure that edges shared between adjacent spline segments are open, meaning they should only be connected to one polygon. If you're modeling the mesh in an external tool like Blender or 3ds Max, this is an easy fix. However, in this example, we don't have access to the original source asset. An alternative solution is to use Unreal's built-in modeling tools. Start by making a copy of the spline mesh. Put an instance of the mesh in the level and enter modeling tool mode. While in edit mode, select the faces at both ends of the mesh and delete them. The open edges will appear as a red line around the static mesh. Be sure to accept the changes to the mesh. Return to landscape mode. Select segment and in the landscape mesh tab of the detail panel, replace the original mesh with a newly modified mesh. Switch back to selection mode. Select the Newton scene actor. Click Show Debug, and then click. Now the collision mesh should behave more properly for the road and landscape.
We can drag some props.
Test the scene by adding some props and moving them around. This fix will be especially useful in future projects, particularly for rolling objects that need to interact with meshes at high speeds. In the next video, we'll demonstrate how to place articulated models designed to roll in these types of environments. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Dispongo. Nautilus, high, dice un trozo.